So this week, NASCAR is heading into some unknown territory. Now, this is not some new track or anything. This is just Atlanta Motor Speedway. But with the recent reconfiguration, I might as very well say it's Atlanta Super Speedway. If any indication goes that the racing will be that way, judging by how the track is reconfigured right now. I have some mixed feelings heading into this weekend, not gonna lie. Some positive, but mostly negative. First of all, I still haven't fully gotten over the reconfiguration. I get that Atlanta needed a repave, that the surface was getting old. So old, in fact, that during last year's race, we saw quite a few drivers report flat tires under caution speed, under pace car speed. So, yeah, Atlanta needed a repave. I knew this day will eventually come, but it didn't need to be reconfigured. No one asked for this. No one asked for Atlanta to be turned into a mini Daytona. They also narrowed the track with this double yellow line rule, which, by the way, that yellow line is not yellow, it's more red and white. There was also talks about the super speedway package being implemented because of the high speeds due to the new banking, due to increased banking, which means that it will lead to super speedway racing. And this has led some people to say, just like I said about the Fontana race a few weeks ago, the racing will be either really good or really bad, and there's no in between. However, in this specific case, I do not agree with that. My biggest fear, of course, is that this track becomes another Texas, another ruined 1.5 mile oval that it looked to be, it used to be decent, but ever since the reconfiguration, it would never be the same. And to be fair, even if this track becomes a success, I'm still gonna feel some type of way about this. I don't know, it's gonna take a long time for me to accept this, especially because Atlanta, before the repave, it used to be one of my favorite tracks of all time, with the rough surface, the chews-up tires, and a lot of strategy that you could pull off in a race. The racing was also long, like 500 mile races. I get that the races over there, especially in recent years with the 550 horsepower package of the Gen 6, they were really long. But I still liked Atlanta and the strategies and those long green flag runs and see which drivers rise to the top, the comers and goers. The racing will clearly never be the same now, and I'm still upset about it. And again, even if it becomes a success, it's gonna be like the playoff format where I'm still gonna watch and I'm still gonna feel entertained, but there's always gonna be some lingering thought in the back of my head that tells me this was not meant to be. This was never meant to be like this. It's fun, but it just wasn't meant to be. So Friday morning, not to mention, Friday morning there was heavy rain on the track, so no qualifying. There will still be practice for the Cup Series. We still need to know if there will be some practice or qualifying. Not really qualifying because qualifying has been canceled, but I still need to know if there will be some practice for all three series. I still wish they gave all three series more practice time, like 20-30 minute practice sessions for everybody is not the way to go. I miss the days where there were like 2 practice sessions of 1 hour long. And now, of course, I don't. This is not really, with NASCAR wanting to cut costs with the next gen car. They do not want that many practice sessions out of fear that somebody might crash. But still, a 1 hour practice session for everybody. You don't even need to divide the practice sessions into groups. You can just make a huge 1 hour practice session for everybody for all 3 national series. Then you do qualifying and then the race. But because of the lack of practice time, we're still living in an era where competition cautions are still a thing. And this is something that the next gen car was supposed to mitigate. No more competition cautions. We're still seeing them to this day. So overall, I'm not very optimistic about Atlanta. the cars haven't even hit the track, and this is already looking like a big mistake, honestly. I really hope I'm wrong, but even if I am, it's still gonna take a lot of time for me to accept this new style of racing at a track that used to be one of my favorites, due to not only due to the racing but also due to its legacy, especially when Atlanta was a season finale back in the, you know, the quote-unquote good old days of NASCAR, the 80s and 90s. So many history was there, and to reconfigure the track and to just change the how the track is being run and the racing style there into some sort of hybrid super speedway pack racing on 1.5 mile tracks. I've never been a fan of that. But again, I guess we'll have to see how this goes.